So today got a few things going on. Got this thing needs some window tracks on the tail. So got those. Those showed up from LMC truck. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to get so this window goes back up and down, because right now it does not. It's stuck. I got this Honda over here. Both my boss and my coworker, the owner of the shop, and my coworker are out today. Went on a vacation. Both of them took off this weekend, so I'm here by myself. So we're gonna get some videos filmed today. Right now, customer complaint: cruise control don't work. Well, these buttons don't work either. You can go in with the scan tool. I hooked up my Matco, my Max Me to it, and you can turn it on. You can turn the cruise control light and stuff on, so I know it's not the dash light. Brakes work. Went through all the different circuits and stuff while I'm thinking it's a circuit going into the steering wheel. A lot of that doesn't want to work. The Ford Explorer, another update on that. That is going away, and pretty. So that's what showed up. Got an ATK rebuild. I've been pretty impressed with them. I've put a few of them in so far. Not a problem. I like them a lot better than Jaspers. Just seems like the Jaspers, I don't know what it is, but I've seen a dozen of them in the past couple of years get put in. Every single one of them come back with leaks and everything. Haven't had a problem with a few of these yet that I've installed, so we're going to keep going with them until they give me a problem. And I can get them through my Napa dealer, my Napa guy, and he takes good care of me and has a really good warranty program. So come with all the new exhaust studs and all that fancy stuff, all the new timing components. So yeah, so that's what we got on tap for today. And yeah, should go pretty well. It's gonna rock out a little bit here. Yeah, so yep, we're gonna keep updated. I'm gonna film some videos today on pulling that steering wheel and stuff apart. So alrighty, so we got the Honda, working on that right now. Kind of first thing here this morning. So I was gonna film the whole repair, but airbags are kind of hard to pull out with one hand while trying to hold the camera, so that's not going to happen. Plus, nobody likes pulling airbags anyway. Every time you pull or connect that plug, you're just waiting for it to go boom. So even if you do it right, battery cable, negative cable has been unhooked for at least 5 minutes, and just trying to take all the precautions because I don't want to blow up an airbag. But anywho, there is, on these Hondas, there's a T30 bolt on this side, and then directly on this side, right there, that one right there. So there's that, and then down below there's a little plastic cover right there. That goes right here. Let me grab a light. Goes right there. You pull that plug, and then there's a little ground. Gets fished down through there, and that has to come out as well. So once you take that off, that airbag slides right out. So you pull that airbag out. Now here's what we're looking at. Those switches and those switches don't work. None of them. So I'm wondering if it's that clock spring. So I wanted to get down to this plug to test at that main plug for all these controls here. See if we have power. So I'm going to check to see if we've got power. I'm going to connect the battery cable again. Now the airbag's unhooked. There will be some airbag lights that'll be on because it doesn't have an airbag in it, but that's okay. We'll just go back through and clear the codes after we do the repair. But I want to find out if that clock spring, because if it was just the one, I'd suspect the switch, but it's both controls for the volume and stuff, so it's both switches. So I'm wondering if that's all, cause it's all tied in together. It comes through the same clock spring, that cable reel, as Honda called it. So I'll look into that first and see if that's the problem, because I checked all the grounds and those are all good, and they all have a common ground. The horn is also wired through there as well, So if the horn is working and there's no airbag light on, it's a different plug. It's that plug rather than that plug. For the horn and the airbags, it's a separate plug, but it all still goes through that clock spring. So I'm wondering if that's not that clock spring. So it undid that blue plug right there. Took the steering wheel out, pop the clock spring off. There's a little tab here and a little tab on the bottom, a white plug. Then you got to go down below under here and undo the yellow airbag plug for the remainder of that. So ended up pulled the clock spring apart. I had voltages where I was supposed to going into it, but nothing coming out of it, and a bad ground. Shorted out internally. So this is what the clock spring looks like. These are all wound up, so when you turn the wheel, you have a current going. You have the plug on one side, then you plug the other end right there, and you should have good voltage and grounds all the way through. Well, as you can see, all this is kind of springy, well, except this one spot got pinched and broke those little wires. And that's where it failed. Got pinched in there, turn the wheel. So you could turn the wheel 2 or 3 times, and you might get a little bit of a connection for a couple seconds, and twist the wheel, turn the wheel, and your connection goes away. So that is where that thing failed. So I'm gonna see if I can get a hold of one of these somewhere. We'll go ahead and see if we can source one in town, and if not, we'll order it from the Honda dealer. But that's the repair for the Honda. So got that one done. Now it's going to be time here to move on to the Chevy Suburban. And a guy just came in. He needs a coolant flush, so we're going to go ahead and do that because he's going to be taking off for the weekend. So got to get that thing done as well. So finished up the Honda, well, diagnosed it, ordered parts, so I'm going to have those coming. Now I'm working on this Suburban. Had customer come in, did a quick fluid exchange just on the coolant over here. And yeah, so I did a coolant exchange on a Mitsubishi SUV. Customer came in. He wasn't scheduled, but I was able to just do it in between working on that, and he was able to just drop it off and leave. Did that, and then ran a couple service calls. We are contracted out with USPS. My boss is, so if he's not around, I get to do that. So made a couple trips into town, installed some chains on some of their rigs, and diagnosed some turn signal problems. It ended up just being some fuses, which was easy, luckily. So got that done. And then came back and I'm working on this. So the problem it had is it's got the electric window motor in the back, but as you can see, the window track's rusted out. So took off all these bolts here, got these tracks out. Both sides were completely rusted through, so that's one reason why the window wouldn't go up and down. It got stuck, but I think it got stuck and I think it burned out the motor trying, because I think they kept hitting the switch trying to get it to go. Now the motor's not working, but I'm going to hook up my power probe and see if I can get that to cooperate, and see if I can make that window go up and down. So we are going to try that. You can hook up to this here and supply voltage. That works, and that works. So I know that works. Didn't work perfect, but it works. So, and that's going to the ground strap. It's pretty weak in the one direction. It has a good ground, but I gotta figure out why, because It'll go up with the switch, but it won't go down. So I'll have to figure that one out, because I'm not sure why it does that yet. So that kind of wraps up the day. Kind of a fairly slow day, but just kind of a day in the shop type deal. I know it's not the best video, it's not the most perfect, it's not going to have the best edit, but just kind of gives you an idea what kind of an easygoing day is for us here at the shop I work at. Like I said, here by myself all day, dealing with the phone and having service calls and customers and everything. Normally my boss would be doing those service calls because he's out and about and stuff anyway. He's not always here at the shop. So normally, my coworker and I would take turns talking to customers when they come in, or, that sort of thing. Fixing people's cars, obviously. But yeah, so today I'm doing all of it, and it's fun, but it's hard work. But yeah, kind of just a day of what I do at the shop, and hopefully, I can maybe do another one of these sometime, but actually do like a time lapse or something. I think that'd be kind of cool. Actually showing going from project to project. But until I can do that, this is what I'm gonna have to put up. So let me know what you guys think. Comment, like, subscribe, and thanks.